Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome to First 15 at 8:15. This is Rich Levin. It's really funny. Coaching agents all year long for many, many years, there's so many things for you to learn to become great at this business and to become greater at this business, even greater at this business. So at any given point in time, when we begin to talk to you on any given day of the week, today we're going to talk about listing presentation and pricing. We talked about marketing plan, we talked about planning, we talked about negotiating, we talked about buyers, we've talked about internet marketing. So throughout the course of the year, we cover everything. So I never want you to show up on any given day and say, oh, he talks all about this or all about that, because we really cover everything that makes you successful in your business. So welcome to First 15 at 8:15. This is Rich Levin. On Mondays, we do have guests. So you've probably joined us if you're not a coaching client already. By going to our webinar and signing up for the free webinar. So welcome. This is what we do each morning, and I give you a piece of training, piece of motivation. Today we're going to talk about your listing presentation and your two greatest strengths or weaknesses. They're everybody's greatest strengths or weaknesses. So listing presentation, you talk to people over the phone to make the appointment. Most people are pretty good at that, and you get there and you build rapport and you sit down and start talking to them. There's better ways to do all these things. We have a list of great questions over the phone. We have a list of great ways to build rapport. But when an agent says, I really need to work on my listing presentation, often we need to go through we need to go through the whole thing to identify strengths and weaknesses and to see if you as the agent really have a solid context, a solid understanding of what a full-blown excellent listing presentation is. And then we break it into the parts and make you stronger. But these two parts, not having a marketing plan, but how you present your marketing plan, and not being able to determine price, well, that's part of it, but being able to present price are typically the two weaknesses in an agent's listing presentation. So let's get into it. Just 2 slides here today with 9 things on these 2 slides. So let's begin going over them. I call them the tips and truths on pricing and price reductions. So number 1, invest the time to make an accurate and confident price recommendation. So there is a document in the Real Estate Grad School in the Regs Library called System for an Accurate Market Analysis. So invest the time to pull all the comparables. Many agents in today's world pull up a CMA on the computer as if the computer is intelligent enough to choose the right comparables and come up with the right price. Now, it will be close. It may be accurate. It may be accurate 90% of the time, but you're not going to be able to present that marketing plan as strongly as if you have, which I recommend, going out and driving by each of the comparables, getting to know the neighborhood, so that if there's a main street, a railroad track, even in the middle of a neighborhood, a change that all the neighbors are aware of, but you're not aware of, man, you lose a level of respect for the owner. So you really take the time, look at the neighborhood, look at the subject house, pause even from the outside, look at the comparable houses, take the time to really act as if it's your house, and you want to get every dollar possible out of it. You want to understand if it doesn't sell right away, what will sell it. So invest the time to make an accurate, confident price recommendation. Now, the word recommendation is a little interesting because I always talk about recommending price, that you as the agent don't have a price. It's not my price. They didn't agree with my price. You don't have a price. You have a price recommendation. You have a price opinion. And so allow it to be a recommendation and allow the owner to own the price. We're going to talk about that before we're done with these 9 tips. Tip number 2. Now, for truly unique houses, now there are not that many. I think I just said now one time after another. I'll try to stop doing that. There are very few really unique houses. Most neighborhoods have typical houses. Now, you may have a 4,000 square foot house in the middle of a 2,000 square foot neighborhood, or vice versa. 1,200 square foot house in the middle of a 3,000 square foot neighborhood. You may have a house that has a lot of land. I've had many unique houses. but there are also many regular houses. When you have a unique house, we covered this a few times throughout the year, it's very interesting and very important. When you have a unique house for sale, somebody hires you, and it's truly substantially different, it's bigger, it's got more land, it's smaller, it's a completely unique design than the other houses in the neighborhood, you can't determine an accurate value for that house in advance. You just can't. It's not possible. It's not possible. If it's Halloween and I have a 200-pound pumpkin, what's it worth? If it's worth the same as a pumpkin, a 3-pound pumpkin, you buy, $2.99 a pound. It's impossible when you have a unique property to price correctly. So instead, you look at pricing strategy. You show the seller what the comparables have sold for, and how this house is substantially different, what kind of different rules apply, and then you put a price on it, and you see if it attracts traffic or not, and if it doesn't, you adjust the price. So it's a pricing strategy. I don't want to talk too much about that, but the point is to know that when you have a unique house, it's not about pricing right, it's about pricing strategy and working in cooperation with the seller to land the highest price possible for them without having that house be on the market too long and suffer market wear, etc. Number 3, set the stage at the listing presentation for a marketing update meeting that will occur 3 weeks later. So here's the philosophy. You could write this one down. If a home isn't sold in 3 weeks with normal marketing, if you do the same normal marketing that sells most houses, and if it's not sold in 3 weeks, it's most likely that the price is wrong for that market. Now, you may say to me, Rich, it's January. So if the house has been on the market since the 1st of January, the last week in December, these are the 3 weeks, it's obviously worth more than that because the market is slow. And what I say to you is, no, in this middle of the winter market, if a person is going to lose it to foreclosure on, January 20, what's today? The 23rd, on January 24th, then you need to sell it now. It's worth what it's worth now. So therefore, if you're telling me it's worth less now than it will be in the spring, what it's worth now is its value now. And if somebody has to sell it now, they're buying another house, they have to sell their house if they want to buy the new house, then you need to adjust the price based on the market. If the house is on the market for 3 weeks or longer with normal marketing and it's not sold, it's not the right price. Okay, so let me repeat that. You might even want to write that down. If a house is on the market for 3 weeks or longer with normal marketing that sells other listings, then in all likelihood, particularly if it's a normal house, it will sell. It is overpriced if it's still on the market. Now, so you say to the seller, I'm thinking now a lot today, you say to the seller, if the house is still for sale 3 weeks from now, we hope it's sold by then, I think, don't you? And I want to schedule a meeting with you when we'll go over all the marketing that I've done, go over all the feedback from people, go over the condition people have talked about us, the location, the marketing, what's happening in the mortgage markets, what's happening with interest rates, how the Trump presidency is affecting the mortgage. I look and watch everything so we can really determine which of those things may be affecting the value of your house and how we may need to make adjustments. So just in case it's not sold, let's plan a date and time right now and we can get together 3 weeks from now. So set the stage at the listing presentation for a marketing update meeting if it's still for sale in 3 weeks. Number 4, use pricing visuals. And we cover these. Matter of fact, they're in the Real Estate Grad School library. There are a number of documents on pricing. Look up pricing or price in the search of the library and you will get a number of documents, including the visuals I'm talking about here. Pricing visuals that show you the 6 reasons why a home will sell or not. The 6 reasons. Now you may think you've heard this before, but you look for why a home will sell or not, or the 6 reasons in the library, and you'll discover some language that will make you even stronger at pricing and getting price reductions. But the 6 reasons are location, condition, the markets, real estate market, housing market, mortgage market, stock market, price, location, condition, markets, access, marketing, usually I start with marketing, and price. We talk about the pricing message to the seller, which is, I have two jobs as your agent: marketing the house and getting you the highest price possible and making a price recommendation, but you actually control the price. It's really your decision. That's part of the pricing message. And any other tools you've learned or gained from your broker, other trainers and coaches. So you use the pricing visuals and tools that you may have gained over the years that you find make you more successful at pricing right and getting good price reductions. What's a good price reduction? One that sells the house. One that within 3 weeks sells the house. Communicate weekly on schedule. If you're communicating weekly, every week, even if there's nothing to report to your seller, it is going to be much easier to get a price reduction. Number 6, next slide. Have a price reduction presentation and continue to perfect a presentation, the discussion, the conversation where you're discussing adjusting the price with your seller. Number 7. Okay, there's a real estate grad school philosophy. You could write this one down. The agent does not have a price. Let the owner own the price. The agent has a price recommendation. Wouldn't it be nice if we could name the price and they would just do what we tell them? We take a lot more care putting a price on the property, because if they would always listen to us, we'd want to make sure we were right and we didn't cause ourselves problems. But we really only have a pricing recommendation. Truly and honestly, the price is up to the seller. So if the agent doesn't have a price, let the owner own the price, and you will find not that they will price it high, but they will take responsibility for their price. A very good friend of mine is selling his house in Rochester, New York, on Monroe Parkway, and I'm working with him exactly like this, and it's really interesting to watch him now gain more confidence as he understands the market better and truly takes ownership of his own price, while the agent is making the recommendations that now make sense to the owner, because the owner understands more about what's going on. That happens when you follow the tips and truths we talk about. Number 8, if it's not sold in 3 weeks on the market with normal marketing, it's not a good price. Now you say, maybe I talked about that earlier. Number 1 was invest the time to do a market analysis. Okay, but this now is the basis of that. Okay, that if it's not sold after 3 weeks, regardless of what you thought, it's not a good price. And please don't tell the seller, it's a good price, we just haven't found the right buyer. Why would you tell the seller that? It only hurts your cause and theirs, and then it's going to be expired and listed with another agent at the price that you should have been recommending all along, and it will sell quickly. Now, often it will expire because you've gotten into a right or wrong with the seller. My price, your price, and their price. And when you make the seller an adversary and then the house doesn't sell, often they will hire another agent just because they don't want you to be right, because you've made it about right and wrong. And number 9, okay, your job is to advise on price. Then, if you choose to take the listing at whatever price they choose, your job is to market the property and get the highest price possible, but the owner always chooses and owns the price. And I've done this for a long time. And I always hear the agent, well, if you let the owners choose the price, the owners always choose the price. It's really funny. Owners want to move. The owners want a new house. They want a larger house, smaller house. They want to be done with that property. They need the equity from it. They want the property sold. They're not just committed to fighting you on price. They're committed to getting their house sold. And when you have the same kind of commitment with them and for them, you do much better. So you may want to, this Monday webinars are available to everyone. So you can always go to Real Estate Grad School, click on the coaching link, and go to First 15 Webinars. And our ingredient for your homework, our ingredient for your recipe for success, which we also call your homework, is look at how well you do your CMA. Do you really do it well? You're extremely confident in the price? And how well you present your CMA and you present your pricing recommendation. And then this week, take some time to improve both. So if you want to hear this webinar again, go to Real Estate Grad School Coaching and the drop-down menu called First 15. And if you are not already a coaching client, we have the most cost-effective, comprehensive coaching on earth. Many, many of our clients just make extraordinarily 10, 20, 30 times more than they invest in our coaching each year. because we work every day really hard for you to help you be more successful. So if you want more information on our coaching program, it starts at just $99 a month with no commitment, just $99 to start, no commitment. And if it works for you, I promise you, you're going to have a happier, more successful, more lucrative career. And for those of you that are coaching clients, we do have a live call now at 8:30. And again at 11:30, looks like the 11:30 may be crossed out there. Ignore that. A live call at 8:30 and 11:30. I know we're going to be talking about assistants and teams on the 8:30 live call because someone asked for that. So hug the ones you love. Make a great day. Make a sale. Have a strong end to kind of over a full week, but still have a strong last week and a half to January and a strong start to 2017. Be well. Bye.